There we go. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lou Angelwolf, and that's Mike Murburg next to me. Welcome to the imho.love show, in my humble opinion, .love. Here we are. It's the 23rd or 4th of June, or 24th, of June.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of the strangeness. The title of tonight's show is The Confessions of an Armed Pacifist. And I guess I would be playing that role for the most part and reporting that opinion. I have been a pacifist most of my life. I really can't remember any aggressive times in my life as an adult. Always kind of a peace-loving soul. Yeah, I've only been in a couple of fights in my whole life. Fisticuffs and stuff. And I always thought better to talk things out and reason things out. So therefore, as these truths revealed themselves over the years, I became more of a pacifist, and then just kind of adapted it as a lifestyle. Now, in the last several months, looking at the situation the way it is, everything happening, all this unsurety, not knowing who to believe on news sources or information, until you got time to track down everybody's donation campaign, everything that's going on, the way to find find out a level of truth and acceptance. I said, I may not be able to find out all this stuff. So I started equipping myself with some weapons, and I have a 9-shot revolver now and a 12-gauge shotgun. The kind that makes the noise, which is really all I wanted. I probably could have just bought a machine that made that noise.
Yeah, that and the electronic dog that you can get and bark. you can just, put them in together, and the dog can
the
chambering around.
Giant Rottweiler sound and the racking of a shotgun.
Yeah.
Probably could have done the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's good for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that veneer wears thin.
Yeah, when they come through, you got to be prepared.
And boy, oh boy, I don't want to use either one ever. From my lips to God's ears, I really don't want to do that. I can't imagine squeezing down on somebody, a human being. But, there's people that count on me, and I can't. Part of me would just go, well, this is how I go out, this is how I go out.
Yeah, but you have a duty to protect innocent life.
Yes, and that's, moreover, the innocent life, my family, and if anybody's immediately there, if there's somebody there with me at that time, family, friends, whomever it is, I'm going to want to have to be bold enough. That'll be the scariest freaking moment of my life. I got to tell you, I don't have that killer thing happening with me. I just don't possess it, and it's got to be something absolutely critical, because it's going to wad me up like a dried out spider. If I ever do have to squeeze down on somebody.
Yeah, it's like Doc Holliday. At the OK Corral?
Yeah.
After Doc Holliday had a double-barrel 10-gauge shotgun. Okay. So he wipes out a guy with a 10-gauge shotgun, and then he goes to grab his pistol, which is in his belt, and one of the bad guys, has a pistol on him. And
right.
And he basically says, pull the trigger, Buttercup, or something like that. But. And he pulls his gun out and he shoots the bad guy. The thing is, when you're in a combat situation, the gun shakes. And the guy with the coolest hand is the guy that's going to win.
Yep.
So, but what he ended up doing after the shootout was he went inside the hotel and he bawled like a baby. It's okay. I mean, killing people is not an easy thing, and it should never be.
Well, what a day in your life, And that was Doc Holliday?
Yeah.
Any relation to Deb Holliday, our artist friend down in St. Petersburg?
No. No, actually, yeah, Doc Holliday. The history of Doc Holliday is kind of interesting. You know, he was born in the South, and his mother died of consumption. Blah blah blah. His father was off.
And consumption was tuberculosis.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. So he was on his own early on, but he became college educated and went to dental school like a good Jewish boy.
Doc Holliday.
Just kidding.
Okay.
You know, and then he headed out west because that's what people with consumption with TB did. Of course, he got it from his mother. He also had a cleft palate too. So you see that cool mustache? It was hiding a cleft palate.
Wow.
Yeah, my name is Doc Holliday.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Doc Holliday. Yeah. Wow, man. You know what though?
What?
It's stuff like that when somebody has a disadvantage like that. There's if there's a deficiency, you know?
Yeah.
Man, it just makes the rest of them shine so much brighter sometimes.
You know, my father used to tell me a story. Not used to, he only had to tell me once or twice. But when he was in Egypt during the war, he ran across a carpet. The guy was making carpets by hand.
This is World War II?
World War II. Yeah, wasn't that old.
Right.
But yeah, World War
right.
II. So he's in Egypt, and he's watching this guy make a carpet, and he watches this guy tie in a knot into the carpet, and it wasn't perfect. And he goes, "What did you do that for?" And he goes, "Well, the only thing that's perfect is God. So when we make these things, we intentionally put a flaw in. So one of the ways to tell a real, carpet, Mideastern Egyptian carpet, was to look for the flaw.
It'll have a flaw.
It'll have a flaw.
Wow.
And everything that's man-made, including each one of us, has a flaw.
Oh.
And you got to accept the flaw. And that's all there is to it.
I have a seismic fault.
That's a fault.
But just to put a cherry on top of your story, the Hopi Indians, when they make a piece of art, blankets included, but pottery and all that other stuff, there's always an imperfection, okay? And when people point it out, a similar explanation, that's the God point.
Right.
That's where humanity and divinity came together for just a moment, because all artists are divine. I really do think that if you have artistic talent and you display it regularly, man, that's when you can many.
It's your connection with the Tao.
Yeah, my friend Dave Fry is an incredible artist. Deb, who we were talking about before. I got a new friend. She's an old friend, but she just started painting again. Her name is Nancy Gray out of Charlotte, and she's making beautiful art. Scott Bird, my comedian buddy, he's making these incredible things. His website is I'm Just a Poor Boy, Pour. He's doing these abstract pours that literally look like album covers. So if you want to check out I'm Just a Poor Boy, I thought everybody's going to sing that, I'm just a poor boy working on canvases. Anyway, so that's my deal, folks. I have this peaceful, wonderful heart, but I'm really, really conflicted as into how to protect myself, how to protect my family, how to protect my people. And I had to do a hard thing, and I had to,
well, if you're a male and you don't have danger in your background,
yeah,
you got nothing.
Yeah,
you really don't. I mean, what's the use?
I know.
I know. It's there. I mean, you don't. You don't brandish your weapons. You don't show them off. You don't, make a big deal out of it. You keep them, you keep them in the closet,
Well, that's the cool head, The cool head always wins. Man, I just, and I tell you, I'm really getting either hypersensitive to the vibrations and the frequencies that are piercing the air right now. I don't know how much 5G they've released recently. I guess we had a crazy cell phone day last week, and somebody was saying that that's what it was, is they were upgrading some 5G towers and whatever. But I'm telling you, I am vibrationally
preparing for the next wave of COVID.
Next wave of well, the frequency changes can definitely make you sick.
You know, it's the rebound they're looking for.
Yeah, and so it's really hard to believe that all this stuff. See, I really hope in my heart that this is all happenstance, but you'd almost have to be a silly person to think that all this stuff, the control, a couple of weeks ago while we were having, popular riots every night on TV, the COVID thing had died down. And now the riots aren't running the ratings like they used to.
Yeah, well, it was the perfect time for riots because the country is down and it's ill.
Yes.
It's not on its best 2 feet.
Yeah.
And then it was time to, the killer wasps, murder wasps.
The murder wasps on deck. Murder wasps on deck.
I'm still waiting to wake up from this.
UFOs, go to the bullpen. UFOs, go to the bullpen.
That's right. What's
what the hell next?
It's like... Right, dragons line up in Studio 2.
Dragons to makeup.
Flossie, bring your fire breather with you.
Oh, that's funny. And then we talked about it last week for a little bit. We found out that the one particular verbose organization is in direct links with a huge control organization. And then we found out this week that huge control organization is in larger alliance with an even bigger control organization.
Oh, it's like Black Lives Matter having the $560 million contribution to the Democratic Party and the people that are running for office.
560 million.
Something like that, yeah.
It's a bunch.
Incredible amount of money.
Yeah.
The people who are contributing to make lives better for blacks are giving it to the Democratic Party, who's continuing to build the plantation for them.
Yes. It's the fact that nothing has changed over all those years running that same program. There are really people. There are incredible people debating this right now. There's a lot of sense being made. There's a lot of feelings being heard. Mike, I tell you, years ago I did a show. Used to have to do promotional posters, and when I was playing the colleges, the little sideline was Lou Angelwolf live stand-up comedy, and it was avoid cops, snakes, and electricity. That was like a little byline in my act. And it's just a bit, really all it was, a bit I did. And I used to talk about cops, snakes, and electricity, all three things I don't understand. All three things can radically change my day. Electricity, I have no idea how it even stays in the wall. To me, it just should leap out randomly every once in a while. I don't trust it. And snakes, I've been in Florida 50 years. I know many snake things. Red on yellow, friendly fellow, black on red, they'll bite your head. I don't know how that rhyme goes. Yeah, you're dead or something. But here's my take on all that. Snake!
Leave him alone.
Have a good day.
Right.
Slither on by.
Right.
And cops.
Same thing.
Cops. Yeah. There were times, and I'll be very honest. There were times when I felt threatened by a police presence.
But now that they've legalized marijuana.
The
whole anxiety thing is
gone. The whole anxiety thing is gone.
Right, exactly.
We have identical feelings.
I mean, just think about it. Whoever would have thought that in this day and age they would have given us legalized marijuana and take away all our other freedoms?
I hope you guys really like this. And we're not legal in Florida. We're just medical. Okay.
Yeah, but they've gotten to the point where they're so lazy. you really got to make them mad for them to bust you for pot. Because it's only a vindictive act.
Well, the CBD oil does really help my joints, and then my joints help my head.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let my hair down, man. I'm tired of having it pulled back. Hey, folks, how you doing? Anyway, and that was the major cause of anxiety. You know, you got a joint in your pocket or two,
and they can bust you.
And they can stop your day. They can take you to jail. I did get arrested once for possession.
Me too.
Yeah, where were you?
Yeah, on the Canadian border.
Oh, I remember this story.
Waterville, New York.
Okay. Give us the TV guide version. It's very good.
TV guide version was I got busted coming back into the United States with some pot that I forgot I had.
Yeah?
Yeah, and the dogs
all 3 pounds I forgot.
No, it was a quarter of an ounce or something. It was just over the amount that made it a Class D felony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was not fun. But the short of it is I learned that I was going to be a very good lawyer someday because I ended up going from a Class D felony to a civil disorderly persons charge and a $15 fine.
Nice.
Yeah, by admiring the judge's office and the 10-point buck that he had behind his desk.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
That's the short of it.
That's beautiful. And in life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
Yeah.
Good job negotiating.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Then the rest.
And my little quip was I was on my way to a gig. I was playing the University of Alabama, Huntsville, and I was driving a Mazda RX-7 that I just bought, and I had a paper tag on it. And I'm just blowing, and those things ran great. They were spirited, and this one had a pipe on it, and I was, zooming up the I-75, and I just tugged on a half a doobie, put it back in my little container, and I cross into Valdosta, Georgia, and the speed limit goes from 70.
Which, by the way, is exactly where Doc Holliday lived.
Valdosta, Georgia?
Yeah.
Wow.
Georgia, yeah, that's where
it's a cyclical world, folks.
Synchronicity everywhere.
So, the speed limit goes from like 70 to 65 to 55, like that.
Right.
And I'm just, I'm listening.
You're stoned.
I'm stoned.
Reaction time's a little slow.
Yeah, and I was listening to like Grand Funk Railroad or something, and this Mazda had a good sound system in it. And I got pulled over, and then dude, it was hilarious. My hair was down to here, except brown then. It was a long time ago, back when my hair was brown and my teeth was white. But and then I get out of the car. I got on Zuba workout pants, purple and black. Flip-flops, okay? And a Ren and Stimpy t-shirt. and I looked like, Dream Date or a dud.
Like a total stoner.
I looked like a stoner.
Ren and Stimpy.
So anyway, he digs around and he's going, I'm going to get a dog in here, man, and this and that and the other thing. And he looks at me and, and I'm trying to say as little as possible. And the flat top with the tight, the guy was tight, like, very stern fellow. And he looks at me, he just looks at me and he goes, have you been to school? And I went, yes, sir. I graduated high school in Florida. He goes, all right. So he was like checking on me, like, am I talking to an adult here, a DOLT, dolt. Anyway, so, I got busted. I spent the night in the Valdosta jail. My car got impounded. It cost me $1,500 to get out. But until now, nobody in the world knows about this.
I got busted in Mexico too. That's a whole nother story. But you know, when I got busted in Waterville, the funny story was this was the New York Highway Patrol.
Right.
And this guy's like 58 years old. I'm all of maybe 21. And the guy is talking about getting ready to retire and all this, and they arrest you, and they're starting to take you into custody, into the hoosegow. And I see the guy putting like these fucking rubber gloves on, and I'm going,
Oh boy.
oh shit, a cavity search. And I look at him and I go, how old are you? And he goes, I'm 58. And he goes, and you're getting ready to retire? Yeah. And I said, what? How do you feel about sticking your hand up other guys' asses? And he looks at me and he goes, hey, you're right. Hey, rookie, get over here. I was like, oh, shit. So it was both our first times.
Rookie with the catcher's mitt for fingers. Get over here. Oh, poor Mervs. And there was one more time. Tom Rhodes, one of my very best friends on the planet, just beautiful human being. We're moving him to. No, I was moving to Los Angeles from Florida to be with Allison, my girl, and pursue a career from Los Angeles. Had an apartment right off of Hollywood Boulevard. I was going to do the whole thing. I had a 24-foot U-Haul, and I had my Chevy Malibu wagon inside the truck. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I was towing my '64 Dodge Polara convertible on a trailer.
4 miles to the gallon.
Well, whatever.
I know. Yeah. Back then it was.
I was on an adventure, man.
That's right.
And Rhodes and I are heading out there, and we're in West Texas, and we knew there was a checkpoint coming up, and it was the middle of the night. We didn't think anything of it, and we passed what we thought was the checkpoint. I said, oh, it's closed. And all that was the agricultural station, right, which was closed. So I go, hey, man, that was a breeze. So we smoke a joint in the cab of the truck. And we drive about 3 more miles, and we crest the hill, and we are ascending into the sea of light, which is the border checkpoint. We totally miscalculated it. And I got lucky. It was the cab was still smelled from weed, and the guy, says, "Hey man," he goes, "I'm suspicious. I think I smell something in your truck. I'm gonna have a dog come over and take a look at it." And the dog, they let the dog. The dog jumps in the front seat and just starts spinning around like he's gonna turn into butter. Found weed right here. I had it in a Pixies cassette tape. I was listening to Pixies, and I had the weed all folded up in there, and I had the tape, all jammed down in there with the J card over it. And the Border Patrol guy goes, "That's pretty clever." Took it. He goes, "Is this all you got?" And I said, "Yeah, that's all I got." And he goes, "Well, I'll tell you what." He goes, "It's like 11 something. He goes, "I'm off in like 15 minutes. He goes, "I'm going to watch you. I'm going to walk out there and you dump that out there by the brush." So I walk out there. I'm standing in front of him. "Hey, look, no more." And
shaking the tree ball.
Yeah, he's shaking it. It's all gone. And I brought him back the empty little sack. And so Rhodes and I pile back in the truck, and we're so excited to leave. And we get about 500 yards away, and it's just that quiet time where you just had a brush with extreme bullshit that didn't happen.
Right.
So I look over at Tommy, I go, "Dude, we're out of weed."
I know. That's where you leave. And I'm in Texas, and I got 22 hours left to drive.
And then we were so excited to leave. The truck was packed solid, and we had all this webbing in the back. We never went and closed the back door and we're blowing down the interstate towards Los Angeles. We didn't stop till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, and we get out. Everything that was in the back of the truck was like bulging. So we almost had to like repack the truck in the middle of the desert. But then while we were repacking the truck, I go, you know what? I said, I got some really good California green in a bottle in the station wagon in the truck. So we foraged through there, and next thing you know,
and you're good to go.
Yeah, we watched the sun come up in Arizona. But anyway, those are travel days, and it's kind of reflecting. But hey, I want to say hi to everybody. We're trying to keep it light, man, because there's enough crazy. Now we have a Hamas leak or a Hamas link to all this stuff that's going to further expand their agenda. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know who to believe. My news sources, I've been out of the loop for a couple of days, taking care of some personal business. Thank you, all my friends that stay on this for me and with me. Kat Carol, of course, the beautiful Pamela. Susan, thank you. Caroline, thank you. Christine, Laura Ann, and then regular Ann. Nikki, the Debbies, and then my buddy Jeff and Bobby and Paul, our new friend Paul. Seeing him a lot. I'm just using first names. You know who you are. And thank you so much for...
And if you don't, you should.
And if you don't, you should just consider yourself a friend anyway, if you have one of these popular names that I just noted. So, that's where I'm at, man.
Hey, getting back to that armament stuff, you know.
The armament, yes.
How does a pacifist arm himself? That seems like a good lead into a joke. But I was watching a video on Jordan Peterson. He was talking about this saying that the meek shall inherit the earth. And he was talking about how that is so often misconstrued, and if it's properly translated, that actually wasn't meek. It's gone through too many permutations. And basically his interpretation was that is he who has the arms and knows well enough not to use it shall inherit the earth.
Oh.
So I like that.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense.
Meek is a hell of an edit, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're getting their butts kicked all over the place.
The Meekers.
Right.
Yeah. Poor Meekers.
So, you know, in this age of appalling idiocy, that makes perfect sense.
Appalling idiocy. Yes. You know, I try not to judge and have your own ideas, and you're welcome to think whatever you like. But these people that still, there's still some people just buying the line that really nothing's wrong, that all this is happenstance. The NASCAR thing was, did you see it was a little noose that you drew the garage door down with? It was this big. It was like
the way they made it sound, it was like, you know, there was a scaffolding and a lynching mob.
Yeah, right. No, nothing like it. It was you close garage door.
Yeah,
and there's a little loop on the bottom because you hang the loop on a nail.
Yeah,
that was the noose they were talking about, and they made all this hazardai about it. Okay, and then the stories, it's just dying. It just.
They took the FBI in for something like that.
Yeah. So, and all I can tell you is that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I saw. And because I was suspicious because there was no picture of the noose.
Yeah, but they found one from like 2018.
Oh,
so
did they?
They've been there for a while.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like made specially for him. Just somebody was trying out how to make a noose. Just everybody does that. There's spare time, right? You know.
Well, you know, I'm fascinated by knots. Yeah. You know those little things you can buy at like gift stores that show you how to make all these different kinds of knots?
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a sheep's head, and then you can make all these fishing knots.
Yeah, bowline and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I would, when I'm old, that's what I'm going to do for fun. I'm going to tie knots.
Yeah, I used to be good at that.
Were you?
Yeah, hangman's knot is really cool too. Once you learn how to do it, but because that would make me a racist today if I showed you. Then
yeah.
Well, I don't do it anymore.
We won't make a YouTube of it.
No, but I am going to go out. I got 6 garage doors out there, and I'm making nooses for everyone. Just, just keep a mind to
so you can put the rope on the nail when you close the door.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. The show is every Wednesday night at 7:30 here on Facebook. Live, and our beautiful producer Kathy McGuire switches it all over to different formats. We're on YouTube, imho.love. That's the general website. We have a YouTube website. We're also on BitChute. That's BITCHUTE. BitChute is a non-alterable platform. So if you're ever looking for an imho.love show, and it may have been taken down somewhere else. I don't know what we said wrong, but it won't be taken down at BitChute because that's not their policy. And, folks, there's just so many little tiny things to think about and talk about and complain about. And really what you're doing is, and I do it too, we're expressing fear, okay? And we don't need to express fear. This is still... There's a vast, vast majority of wonderful, beautiful people on this earth, and we're going to be here, okay? We may get our feathers ruffled, and really, I really do think that this country has the ability to pull itself back up and just do the right thing. I mean, you got to admit, okay, that there was some police brutality. And you got to admit that they were arresting a lot of the same kind of people. When you're breaking the law, it really doesn't matter what color your skin is. I mean, and I'll probably get complaints on that. But the fact that you're in the act of breaking the agreed upon law, that really has no bearing on your skin tone. You know what's right and wrong. I mean,
no excuses.
But, and I do notice, too, that if you're not causing trouble in any particular way, the police generally leave you alone. And, I'm sympathetic to some black dudes, man. I know that, they probably get hassled more than, me driving my old Chevy truck down the road.
Yeah, but it's not like they're beating up Miles Davis anymore.
No. Well, he might have started a couple of those fights.
Yeah, well, the first time was pretty in his life.
Yeah. Well, and justifiably so, man. I mean, for any human to be that mean to another human, I don't get it. I mean, why can't we all just love each other like Rodney King says? Can't we all just get along? And but. The other thing, too, and my friend Yvonne just sent me this really, really deep link that it's going to take hours to watch. So I really do have to block out some time. It'll be one of those things I'll take notes and I'll check facts and go back. It looks like it's about to scare the hell out of me. But I'm okay. I'm not afraid to be afraid. But, folks, it is time for you to stop buying the storyline. We say it every week. Stay away from your television. I'm getting really uncomfortable with television in general. I've been blessed. I've been able to go visit my mom a few times over the last week or so, and she watches the regular news. And every time it's on, it's some horrible thing, And my mom's 81, and God bless her. She's a real sensitive person, and she's in there, and all the other, nice moms and grandmas, they're home watching this crap, getting the hell beat out of them mentally, and then I find out that my mom's bummed out, and then so that brings me down a notch, and then I find out everybody else's mom is bummed out. It brings us all down a notch. It's very fatiguing, this energy that we're being exposed to these days. So you got to turn it off because it's the constant feed of the same story that you've heard over again with minute changes in details and counts. And who knows whose numbers to count anymore. I just, the CDC admitted that they were grossly wrong. The WHO admitted that they were grossly wrong.
And now what they're doing is they're testing so many people that they're getting positive test results, and they're thinking that the virus is spreading. But all they're really doing is testing more people.
Right.
This thing has already been through the population, so everybody's, not everybody, but a lot of people are carrying the antibodies.
And they're testing you for the coronavirus, which is the common cold.
Right.
The COVID-19 is a special sect under that, okay? And very, very few people get it. Only 1% of the population or less gets it, and 99% of those people survive it.
Right.
So you have to see this for the manipulation that it is. Whatever numbers, and you can throw numbers that you want, but 87% of all statistics are made up on the spot, just like that one. So, but follow your heart, folks. If it feels wrong, if it looks wrong, if it sounds wrong, chances are it is wrong. And like we say every week, you gotta use your head, trust your gut, and your heart will lead you home. And that's where we're at right now. See, all this stuff is just making us, it's really twisting us up inside. And I'm sorry to see so many people sad. I've literally had people message me on Facebook and tell me how sad they are or how scared they are. And, I got a little bit of a Chaplin-esque mode about myself.
Yeah, but now you tell them to get a shotgun.
Now I'm telling them, get a shotgun.
Get a shotgun. Even Joe Biden would agree with that.
And yeah, Joe Biden.
Get a shotgun. You don't need an AR-15. Get a shotgun. It's the politically correct gun to have.
So, like I said, I armed myself, and I'm not telling you to. If it rubs against my constitution as well, but I don't want to look back and go, sorry, Mom, sorry, sis.
Yeah.
I was emotionally unprepared to arm myself.
Yeah, I'm the alpha male of the family, and I just forgot my alpha this week.
I'm just a little beta or a kappa male this week, but hey, man, and that's where, I'm part Italian, and that's where my little Guinea dander gets up, and I just, I'm like, you step towards my family, then you're going to see a whole different piece of the pacifist over here, so that's where we're at, folks.
You're not going to get the pass, you're going to get the fist.
That's right. Fist family values. But, well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we survive the giant dust cloud that's coming from the Sahara Desert. I hope the dragons and the murder hornets and the UFOs. Man. But my beautiful friend Mary Ducina, who's a psychic, and just she's sharp as a razor, man. She's telling me that December, the cusp between Sagittarius and Capricorn is coming. And the 21st of December, the winter solstice, there's going to be another change, but this is going to be a very good change. Currently, right now, Mercury is in Gatorade or some shit.
Yep.
So I saw that meme.
Mars is in Powerade.
Mars is doing Powerade, and old hippies are drinking well water. God bless you, son.
Hey, I read the other day, I tried to figure out what the distance was between West Africa and Brazil.
How far is it?
1,600 miles.
1,600 miles.
1,600 miles. And at 5 miles an hour, at 24 hours a day of sailing, you can get there, do the math, about 14 days.
Okay.
So when you talk about how tight the world is, how close the world is,
yeah.
I mean, it was a 14-day boat ride 600,000 years ago.
Back then, yeah, sure,
So
yeah.
it's still, so we're all pretty close together. We're also talking to the early in the week about the biblical quote, 2 swords are enough, the Jesus quote. I'm forgetting which book that was in.
Was it James?
Was it Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John? That's it.
I think it was James. I think it's what.
Okay,
I don't have my thing.
Gotta look it up. Yeah. But
yeah, 2 swords is enough. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
2 shotguns is
2.
enough.
Yeah, well, I got a revolver and a shotgun.
There you go.
So
that's enough. Don't overdo it.
I ain't Grady Judd about it or nothing, but well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the show. We love you guys. We do this out of love. The show's unfunded. It's not that we've ever been demonetized. We never got monetized
to begin with.
To start.
Sorry, guys. We're not gonna. We already know of you.
See, we didn't. And we're just trying to keep it organic.
You can't come on here. What do you think you are, Joe Rogan?
Yeah. Money just infects so many things, and we didn't want it to infect our opinions. Because you got sponsors and you got that's what a lot of this problem is these people that are acting so foolishly. They have to keep their corporate supporters and sponsors happy.
Right. There was a story out. I forget who it was, but the guy's wife, who was like Vietnamese and barely spoke English, said something online, and they made him apologize, and then get down on his knees and apologize. And not only did they fire him anyway, they badmouthed him on the media. It's like, just stop it.
Yeah, they just, and I really do think you're probably going to see some of that media stuff change around. I mean, baby, it could be time to rock and roll. Who knows? I hope it isn't. But the big thing, you got my page up still?
Oh, yeah.
The big thing I wanted to announce, and this was sent to me by Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden, 2 of the most peaceful dudes. They're big time guys in the. All right, here we go. If you look on my Facebook page, from June 26th to June 29th, that's this weekend. Okay, it's 1 million meditators. 1 million meditators. A weekend of joy. 48 hours of live meditations. And I'm interested. I'm going. I'm sharing. I'm doing it all. Because I can tell you, folks, this is the most powerful thing we can do. Spreading, silly little memes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's fun. A little comic relief helps relieve some pressure, that's for sure. But go to 1 million meditators, Greg Braden or Bruce Lipton, and I will be meditating this weekend at various times. We've talked about the how-tos. If you're not good at meditating, it's hard to be bad at meditating. You'll find your own way.
Speaking of which, while you're at it, do a CE5. We had 2. I only had 2 people out this weekend. We had 5 craft come in. It was the simple, 3 in, 4 out. 5 weight, and then it was a very simple meditation, and it was and no holding hands. It was freestyle. So,
wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's the heart energy, and that's the the CE5, the Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, or HICE, Human Initiated Contact Experiences. It's that beautiful power. It's that beautiful clarity, that peacefulness, that our own little Zendras that we send out to the universe, that our extraterrestrial family picks up on. And out here at Area 52, they show up and they give us little winks from the sky. And we had beautiful sightings last month, and Mike just had, 5 different sightings?
5 or 6 different entities, actually sightings, but there were definitely 3 different light signatures on 3 different craft. So
very nice.
So there were 3 different entities, races, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and just remember, folks, that television and that internet bad news, that's all low frequency stuff. And the reason it's tripping you up is because that's what low frequency stuff does. So we need to just kick it up a notch, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. Kick it as happy as you can walk that way, because that's what's going to keep you buoyant and moving forward. And just remember, you are part of the most magnificent universe that ever was. Don't let people tell you that you're worthless. Don't let people tell you that you've done everything wrong in your life. And, you know, who owes what? You know, they talk about, you know, respect is earned, not demanded. If you're going to respect somebody, it's because they earned it. That's for me. And I'm not going to respect somebody just because they tell me I have to respect them. I'm sympathetic. I'm empathetic as anybody that's ever had a plight. You know, people stuck in a toll booth and they don't have change. I feel bad. You know, and then people that are facing firing squads. I feel bad for a spectrum of emotions for all those things. But part of that, all that stuff is low frequency stuff. And you can, through meditation, through prayer, through joyful conversation, through peaceful thought, through puffy treats, you can elevate your being. You can elevate your vibration. You can be a happier person. You can deal with this a lot better than you think you can. Just remember, you're really, really part of a wonderful thing. And the other night, I had a friend, Laura, got hold of me, and she's got kids, she's got a husband, their time is shaky, everything's weird, and I reminded her, you know, baby dolphins were born today all over the world. The world is continuing on. This low vibration thing we got going on here, it will end someday. It'll all change. It won't stay like this. I hope. I pray.
Well, it will. And a friend of mine said the reason it's going to change is because our lives depend on it, and the opposition, their money depends on it. So
right.
We're going to win it.
Yep. Well, you know, we're planting a garden. We're loading the guns. We're building a machine gun turret on top of the barn.
You got to protect our ETs.
We do. Well, and that, if you know what, if ET comes, don't shoot at it. Really, come on. What, you really think a bullet is going to do something to extraterrestrial?
Yeah,
you know,
they won't let that happen.
Yeah, they'll just knock your little bullet down. They'll just wink at it and it'll fall from the sky.
Right.
But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. Thank you so much for tuning in. If I didn't get a chance to say hi to you this week, love you so much and appreciate the attention that you pay me. I do get your messages. Sometimes I open up my box and there's 15 things and 2-hour videos I'm supposed to watch, and there's only so many hours in a day, and I've been busy lately, so a little bit of an ostrich effect, but it's kind of good to get out because just the doom porn will just wear your ass out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much on behalf of Lou and Mike. Like we say every week, use your head, but trust your gut, and your heart will lead you home. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7:30. This is the imho.love show, and
like it, subscribe, spread it.
Yeah, like it, share it,
yeah.
Subscribe, do whatever you want to do with it, man. If you could use it as a coaster, we'd let you.
Thank you, Lou. Peace, y'all.
Thank you, Mike. It was great. Good job. All right, we're saying good night. Where'd it go? Let's see. All right, stop it.
I take it you're not a techie.
I'm not a techie. Oh, no.